Welcome to the glow, where warmth begins. Nick and Becca, where good vibes win. Pull up a chair and let's get started to business tips with a cool, relaxed view. Fireside Chats with Nick and Becca. Business tips where it's at.
Welcome to Nick and Becca's Fireside Chats, brought to you by Tricres. Tricres is the home of the Kick-Ass Culture Coach and Consultant program. Everything every business coach and consultant needs to make them successful. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the sister and brother team who founded Tricres and find out what really makes them tick, what irritates them, and what makes them laugh. Right, so we're back doing the Fireside Chats.
Yes.
So we thought we'd start not with the usual topic of conversation. So we've got a bit of a revelation to share, haven't we, Nick?
Yes.
We're getting a divorce.
Very amicable.
Yeah. You're going to get custody of your clients.
Yes.
And I'm going to get custody of all the coaches.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So shall we tell the listener what's behind it? Should we expand on that? Should we talk to them about how we've come to this conclusion and how it's working out?
Well, we don't know how it's working out because we only decided 12 hours ago.
That's a very good point.
So we don't know. But already, I think there's a sense of relief with both of us.
Yes, there is.
We get on very well as brother and sister, and we like that.
Yeah, we do.
It's where to start, isn't it? It's been a journey. I know that's a kind of thing, isn't it? It's been a journey, hasn't it?
Cliched.
I know, but it's true, because when we came together to do Tricres, it was really during lockdown, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
And I had been a sole trader for, let me work this out very, 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 very quickly, for 13 years. So it'd just been me. But then in April 2020, well, we started talking about it at the end of 2020.
We did. Yeah, we did.
So we were still in the legacy of lockdown. And in fact, if you remember, the Boris Johnson government was still talking about, oh, should we lock down at Christmas? Because Chris Whitty said, oh, you should, because 500,000 people die. Thankfully, Boris ignored him, and nowhere near that many people died at all.
98% survival rate for COVID.
There you go.
Just add that in.
So, new financial year, April 2021, and my sister will say, Rebecca will say this, it took her a while to persuade me, because to start billing through Tricres. So I was no longer a sole trader, and I was going to be on PAYE. And that was a hard change for me to do mentally. And it was all right, and there were some advantages to that, and I liked working with my sister, and I liked we had other people and stuff, and I liked that. But then there've been other things in my life, personal things. I don't want to say mental health.
Mental health.
I want to say mental health.
Mental health. Is that mental health?
Yes, it is. I was addicted to lockets. And any kind of sore throat remedy. I would rub Vic on chests. Not our Uncle Vic.
Incessantly.
Not our Uncle Vic.
No.
He would object to being rubbed on my chest.
Yeah, he would.
And also, he's very unhygienic.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want him anywhere near your chest.
He has mental health.
He does have mental health.
He has serious mental health issues.
We could go into so much of this, couldn't we? But I don't. There's no need. But
there's not enough time to be honest.
No, there's not enough time. It's taken 57 years to get to my mental health state. But suffice to say, to cut it short, I seem to have funny turns in the summer, don't I? I'm not good in the summer.
No, you're
I'm
not.
No.
It's because you're not busy.
I know. I think that's what it is. I'm not very good at being not busy because
not.
it gives me too much time to think.
Yeah, that's his mental health.
And that's my mental health thing is too much time to think. And this summer 2024 was not good for me. In fact, it was the worst I have ever been. But thankfully, my darling sister was there for me, as was my fantastic wife. And Beck said to me, you just need to take time off, just stop doing everything. And she was right, because I was in a right pickle, wasn't I?
You were in a little bit of a pickle.
I was in a pickle.
Me and Sally had to do an actual intervention.
Yes, they actually did do an intervention.
Yeah, we did.
Sally was there with me by my side.
Yeah.
My sister was over the phone, and I was on loudspeaker on the phone, and it was very bad. I mean, we're laughing about it now. It's very bad. Anyway, I am now getting help.
Yes.
Rather intensive help for this.
Yes.
But as part of that, I need to simplify my life.
Yes.
And I also realise that a thing that's really important for me is just to be in control. And so I'm going back to being a sole trader. And it's a bit scary. I'm going to use one of Ruby's phrases, nervited.
Yes.
I'm excited, but I am nervous.
Yes.
I am nervous because there's lots of what ifs.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's the right thing to have done. But we're parting very amicably because we're adults.
Yeah, and it was really clear to me that being part of running a business that's growing and is forging into new markets and a new way of doing something was just adding a layer of stress to you that you just don't need. And whilst I find that challenging and engaging and frustrating at the same time,
Of course.
It's very much what I enjoy.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Right, let's get to the next stage. Let's solve this problem. Let's see if we can work that out. Whereas you don't like that at all.
No, I don't. Ultimately, I like standing up in front of people and talking to them, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's it's a theme that I've thought about many times. It's because had I not done this, many, many years ago, I was seriously contemplating applying to drama school to become an actor. And I think of myself like that.
Yeah.
So actors just have to act, and that's that. They don't run a business.
No.
It's just them.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's more my personality. And the other thing that I'm mindful of is because my sister is very, very caring, her having to worry about me is something she doesn't need.
Yeah, and I came to that conclusion as well, is that I've reached a stage in my life where I haven't got headspace to worry about you in that way.
No, that's
obviously
right.
Still as my brother.
Yes, but that's enough, isn't it?
That is more than
that's enough.
That's more than enough.
No, it is more enough.
It is.
But what's interesting, people, is that if you... It's amazing how in tune we are with one another. Yeah. Because we both kind of came to this at the same conclusion.
We did.
And now I'm just going on an aside here.
Okay.
For this, if this person's into horoscopes.
Right, the viewer.
Because they may be.
Yeah.
You're looking at a Libran here.
Yes.
And a Gemini.
Yes.
And a Libran is a perfect match for Gemini.
Yes.
And a Gemini is a perfect match for a Libran.
Yes.
Actually. So it's not surprising that we're kind of just in tune with one another.
Yeah, it's true. I also feel so now I'm flying solo with the business. I have a great joint venture partner in Tammy in the US.
Yeah, fabulous.
She is phenomenal.
She really is. She's a tour de force.
She is a tour de force.
She's a tour de force.
She's a one-woman entrepreneurial machine.
She is. She's her very own kind of South United States hurricane.
She really is. She's amazing. She's from Boston originally.
I know she's Boston, but she's made a home in Carolina, hasn't she?
She has. And I have Alison obviously in northern Spain and Lauren in southern Spain. So we've got a little core team, and I see the business now growing very much. We're about training brilliant people to be brilliant business coaches and building that community, because people join us for the community. They kind of sign up for the training and they stay for the community. And that's what we're building. And I am on an absolute mission to make that really, really successful. So it feels a bit strange to be out there slightly flying solo, albeit with some great company with me. I too am nervited.
Yeah.
I too am nervited. What I do know from past experience, though, is that when you let go of something that's not working, it creates a space, and nature hates a vacuum. And what Mother Nature does now is fill that space. We've both created a space, and Mother Nature fills that space. And what I am now focusing on, I'm sure you are too, is the good stuff that will fall into that space, because I absolutely guarantee it will.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Because it always does.
Right. It's like you're releasing a log jam.
Yes.
And it'll flow, won't it?
It will flow again.
Yeah, I think so.
So whilst we're both in that, slightly taking that leap of faith position, we know that we will land wherever we land, and it'll be the right place for us individually, and right place for our businesses. And actually I think it will give us both a new lease of life, a new impetus. And it's like all relationships, it's like everything has to come to an end. Nothing lasts forever.
Look at Eric Ten Hag at Man United.
I'd rather not, because that's quite dull. That's really dull, to be honest. There's a series on Scottish TV at the moment, 2 female comedians, I can't remember their names, but they have these really deep and meaningful discussions. There's 2 of them sitting in a room. One of them's going on about really deep and meaningful things, or there's a bloke going on about football and he's really getting into detail. And then one character turns to the other character and goes, well, what are you thinking about that subject? And that character goes, I'm trying to work out how to give a fuck. So when you mention football there, I'm like, nah.
Which is interesting, because when my sister said a moment ago that nature abhors a vacuum, wasn't lost on me that I love vacuuming.
If you haven't worked out by now, Nick and Becca, Rebecca and Nick, to use their posh Sunday names, are really passionate about building businesses, giving business coaches and consultants out there everything they need to succeed. Yeah, we have a laugh about it. It's not brain surgery. Join us, find out more at tricres.com, Tricres. Back to the podcast.
I really like housework, so I love hoovering.
No.
I mean, we just call it hoover.
Yeah.
It's actually a shark. I had a Dyson for many years, loved it.
Did you?
Had to change because it was just worn out.
Yeah, ours is worn out.
Shopped around a little bit, went for the shark. I was a little bit, but it was literally less than half price.
Yeah. Is it good? We're about to get a Henry Hoover.
Oh, well, they're classics.
Yeah, because the Dyson has now died.
Yes.
10 years.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
yeah,
Same with ours.
Fair enough.
So nature abhors a vacuum.
Yeah.
Well, and a vodka, probably. But I don't. I love a vacuum.
Whereas no, domestic chores are big no. Anyway, so the subject for today, so we've come all the way around the houses. The good news is we're going to carry on with the Fireside Chats.
Yeah, because we like this.
Yeah, we like it.
Because it's banal nonsense.
Yeah, it is.
And yet it's meaningful.
You say that.
Well, a world in which Kamala Harris might become president of the most powerful country in the world.
We can't go down that avenue, Nick.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'll just check the radiators on.
We can't go down that avenue. We will divide our audience. So, of one. So our subject for today...
They'll be terribly conflicted.
I know. Our subject for today is nightclubs.
Oh. Oh, yes. Well, immediately, butterflies in Oldham.
What?
Yes.
You went to a nightclub in Aldon?
Yes, actually, it was called Romeo and Juliet's first of all, next to Froggy's Fun Pub.
That's horrendous.
Next to Froggy's Fun Pub. You have never lived unless you've been clubbing in Oldham.
No.
And you're wondering why Oldham? Because Brendan, my best mate at the time from college, lived in Middleton. Middleton didn't have a club.
No.
So we used to go to Oldham.
Right.
Romeo and Juliet's next to Froggy's Fun Pub.
Oh my God.
Now, Romeo and Juliet's was then rebranded, a bit of a spritz, and it became Butterfly. Until Middleton, or as people who are from Middleton call it Middy, got its own club.
Oof. Did it?
On 3 levels.
No.
Hippos.
I remember you going to Hippos. Jesus Christ. How bad is that?
Hippos. We go to Hippos.
Well, you did used to say Hippos.
That's right. No, go to Butterflies and Oldham. What I got about Smokies and Ashton-under-Lyne. Smokies.
There was one in Bury precinct called Rebecca's.
Was there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Was there?
There was.
The ones in town, the biggest one in town was Rotters.
Rotters. The Playpen. Was there the Playpen?
I don't know, that's probably some S&M club that you
No,
could
it was not.
there was Royales.
Royales.
At 21 Piccadilly.
21,
now, when that
yes.
opened
Oh,
in
yes.
Piccadilly Gardens,
Yeah.
you could get a VIP membership for £100 a year.
Good.
VIP Royales, that was the posh place to go, Royales. No, 21 Piccadilly, sorry. Then Royales opened.
Oh.
And this is when clubs were smoky.
Oh, yeah, you could smoke.
Smoke.
Yeah, they were really, really dodgy. Yeah.
You stank.
Yeah, obviously I went to the Hacienda, but I only went once.
See, I never went to the Hass.
I went once, but my claim to fame is that my best mate was at the time married to Marquis Smith of the Fall.
Of the Fall.
And so we got in as VIP people to the Hass.
No.
Yeah, straight to the front of the queue, in with Marquis Smith, knows Tony Wilson.
Oh my
How do you
God.
feel?
Tony Wilson, Mr. Manchester.
Mr. Manchester. And actually, at the time, I was working for a record promoter in Manchester called Tony Michaelides.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Do you remember Tony Michaelides?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so I was promoting the Happy Mondays. So I met the Happy Mondays. I was one of the first people to listen to, I can never remember, Alleluia. Tony Wilson came round to the office with the Happy Mondays and he went, listen to this. This is hot off the press.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's true. And
didn't know this.
I met Terry Christian. Do you remember Terry Christian?
Terry Christian, yeah.
Terry Christian. Are you all right? You all right, kid?
Yeah.
He did The Word, didn't he, on a
did.
Friday night?
Yeah.
So he was going out with a lady called Sue, who I was working for.
Right.
So I used to chat to Terry Christian quite a lot. He's got a history degree. Did you know that?
No.
So
Ancient, medieval or modern?
modern, because I'd just done my A-levels and I'd done history, so we chatted about history.
Oh my God. Intellectual heavyweight.
I know. My other claim to fame was that, do you remember the one-hit wonder that was Sydney Youngblood?
Yes, that name rings a
Yeah.
bell. What was the hit?
Oh, well, it sounded like Yaz and the Plastic Population, The Only Way Is Up.
The Only Way Is Up.
But
Baby.
yeah, that's the one. But his hit, I can't remember.
I can't hear that song.
But I drove with Sue, with Sydney Youngblood, down to Dunstable,
Bedfordshire.
so we could do an interview on Dunstable Radio.
That's like Norfolk Digital, isn't it?
Yes,
With Alan
it
Partridge,
was.
isn't it?
So every Friday, my job was to phone all the local radio stations and check that our records were on their playlists.
Wow.
Have you got them on A playlist or B playlist? And obviously the aim was to get them on A playlist. That was my job every week. And to pack records and to send them out in mail
Your
shops.
life could have been
to
glamorous
radio
and
sta-
bands and all that kind of thing.
No, it's horrific.
Oh, is it? Is it
No.
not glamorous?
No, they all take a lot of drugs and drink
That's the whole of the
drink
entertainment.
too much and smoke
That's-
too much.
That's
And,
like in green rooms
and
in
let's
stand-up
face
comedy
it, they're all
clubs.
narcissists. Yeah.
Whereas Beck's a Libra and I'm a Gemini.
Yeah, so no, definitely didn't want to be involved in that world at all.
Your moon's in narcissism.
Yeah, full on. And it's just a nasty...
Is it?
Yeah, it's not pleasant. No, not at all. In my experience, there may be others who've had lovely experiences
Yes.
in that industry, although I very much doubt it, to be honest. So
doubt it
nightclubs
as well.
in York when I was at university,
Yes.
student night, Wednesday night.
Right.
I can't remember the name of it, but obviously it was a nightclub in York, so it was very sticky.
Vikings.
Probably sticky carpet.
Romans.
Glass walls, mirrored walls, sticky carpet.
Round trees.
There was none of the above. I have pavements. No, that was a street in York. Anyway, it was really bad. But the booze was really, really cheap on a Wednesday night because it was student
But half the
night.
fun about reminiscing about nightclubs is the names.
Well, I'm postmenopausal, so I can't remember.
You can't have that as an excuse for everything.
It literally is an excuse. Do you know one of the symptoms is an itchy ear? I found that out the other week. My left ear has been itchy like mad for about 3 years. My friend said, that's menopause. I went, you're having a laugh. An itchy fucking ear. Yes.
Can you say fucking...
Sorry, I've done it a few times because we're talking about nightclubs.
She thinks she's Joe Rogan.
He's about this tall.
Is he really?
He's tiny.
Oh, pop it.
He's only about 5'9".
Oh, adorable.
I know, but he's
Adorable.
very bulky.
Yeah, he works out,
Yeah, he does
doesn't
work
he?
out, and he has those ice baths.
Oh, yes, I have.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
yes,
has
he
those
does,
ice
yes.
baths. Yeah. Have you been to a nightclub abroad?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Went to one in Neha.
Oh yeah, I went to one
Robert
in.
Patterson.
Yeah, I've been to the same one. Yeah.
There's hardly anybody in it.
No.
Remember.
No.
And went to one in Lindos in Rhodes
Go
with
on.
Lisa.
Get you.
I nearly did a drug. No, I didn't. I didn't. Never done a drug. I really haven't.
You've taken a paracetamol.
I tell you what, I took at the weekend because I was having a funny turn. I took a Nurofen Max Strength.
Right.
Bloody hell!
It knocked you out.
It made me.
Did it?
Yeah, it was not good. It was- I had to lie down for the whole of Sunday.
Our family, right, has a history of not being able to tolerate alcohol, drugs, or fags, right, which makes us quite clean living. But it's
true.
not because like we're puritanical. It's
No,
because
it's
our
not.
our metabolic system just cannot take.
We're not rock and roll.
No, we're not at all. I take 2 Nurofen to sleep. I'm knocked out. Normal ones, never mind Max. Yeah, they
Really?
make me sleep. Yeah. I once had 2 antihistamines and I accidentally forgot not to drink. I was out cold for about 14 hours. And those were the non-drowsy ones.
And she'd smuggled them through Edinburgh Airport in a condom.
It was in Troon.
In Troon.
Yeah, the Marine Hotel. Yeah. I was meant to be delivering training and I wasn't awake and they were all like, where are you? 2 of them had to bang on my hotel.
Seriously?
Yeah, because I was out cold. They thought I died. And I nearly had. Well, I'd not. I was just out cold.
That's just so not a good headline, is it? NLP trainer dies with antihistamine overdose. Doctor says she took 2 with a Sauvignon Blanc.
It was literally it.
I mean, you'd be like Matthew Perry. People would be being sued. Who
I know.
gave her this Sauvignon Blanc? Who sold her the antihistamine? Just say no.
So bad. Oh dear.
You don't have hay fever though, do you?
Yes. It was.
Is that down to menopause?
No, I've had that since I was 15. But I take Beckinase for that. But the antihistamine, I had 2 massive bites on my ankle, mozzie bites, and they swelled up and
Yeah.
they were driving me insane. So I had to take it, otherwise I was going to scratch my foot off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the outcome.
I saw, you just said where you said something, Beckinase,
Yeah.
which just reminded me, I saw a number plate on a car the other day that had been perfect for you. It's Miss Beck.
Perfect. It would have cost a lot of money. So.
Well, it was basically 155.
Yeah.
Beck.
Please.
But it really looked like Miss Beck. It
Oh,
was
that's
excellent.
cool.
Yeah,
I like
it was
that.
good. It was good.
I've been to a nightclub in Cleveland, Ohio.
Ooh.
It was called The Lift, and it was in an industrial unit, and you went in an industrial lift
One of those industrial lifts.
to
that
go
you
to
see.
the nightclub.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun.
I bet that was a high.
Not really.
That was the lift joke.
Yeah, I know, I got that.
Why,
No,
if it was in America, why wasn't it called the elevator?
I think it was kind of because it was trendier to call it the lift.
Because it was an English word,
Yeah.
whereas everyone in America
Yeah.
would have called it the elevator.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, Malia, Crete. Me and Saf had some dodgy nights in Malia and
Don't
Crete
want
when
to
we were
know.
23.
Oh,
Involved
dear.
a lot of blue alcohol.
Is that wicked?
No, it was before Wicked was invented. They did these blue cocktails. Yeah, that was fun.
You're supposed to do that sort of thing when you're 23. don't
Yeah,
you?
we did. That was really good fun. We were away, me and Saf were away last week in Sicily for a week on our own, no kids, no partners. We realised it had been 30 years since the last time we'd done that, and that was the Malia holiday.
Wow.
So 30 years before we got another holiday together.
Well, that's because you had kids and
I
divorces
know,
and things.
I know.
Life, in fact.
Life got in the way.
But that's about right, isn't it? If you think about 23 and then the next 30 years, for a lot of people,
Yeah.
not everyone,
Yeah.
and it's not for everyone, is then the whole, well, marriage, babies, and regrettably, statistically, quite likely divorce.
Well, we've both been divorced, haven't we?
Yes, and Saffron has.
Yeah, she's been divorced twice.
Oh, has she?
Yeah, well, she divorced Mark E. Smith
Yeah, Mark E. Smith.
because he was a nasty, violent, unpleasant man, which I'm allowed to say he's dead now,
He's
so
dead
can't
now.
be
You
sued.
can't be sued, yeah.
But he really was very violent and unpleasant. She still has some of the recordings of his death threats.
That is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, he's lovely.
Something to give the grandchildren.
Yes. Luckily, she didn't have kids with him. And then her second marriage was more successful and much nicer.
Much
But
nicer.
it didn't work out for whatever reason.
But not through violence.
No, God, no. No. He was lovely in his own way. But, no,
But not,
Yeah,
no.
not for each other.
Not for each other.
But that brings us nicely back to relationships,
Yeah, it
Nick.
does.
In that, you know, at the time when you get together, whether it's a business partner or a loved one, there's an optimism and a hope, otherwise you
Indeed,
wouldn't
yeah,
get
that's right,
together.
That's right.
And you find ways to make it work, and you have compromises, and there's give and take. But at the end of the day, if it's not working for either of you, or if it's working for one and not the other, you have to call it a day. And if you're in a family business, I actually think it's more important
I agree.
to call it a day sooner
Yeah.
before the familial relationship is soured.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what we can give ourselves a pat on the
Yeah, I
back
agree.
for, is that
I
we
agree.
both have been really honest throughout the whole thing and go, this isn't working,
Yes.
or we need to change this to make
Yes.
it work, or let's try it this way, but to be really honest with each
Yes.
other.
Yes.
Because if you
Oh, that would be awful if
I
we'd
know.
fallen out as brother and sister.
but so
Oh,
many
we just wouldn't know.
no,
It's
we
not us.
wouldn't, but a lot of family businesses do.
Yeah, they do.
Because
They
we
do.
always said we will put our relationship first, and we always said that
True.
right at
Yeah,
the start.
We did.
Yeah,
We really did.
and I think if you're going to go into business with your family, or if you're in business with your family or your partner, make a promise to each other that you'll put that personal relationship first and the business second.
And then also talk.
Yeah.
Which is something I learnt from the failure of my first marriage, is that we get, funny enough, me and my ex-wife get on very, very well, but we both agree that we didn't talk to each other
Yeah.
because we didn't want to upset each other.
Right.
So you think,
Right.
oh, well, I won't say anything because it'll rock the apple cart, and actually sometimes you have to be honest.
You do. Yeah, you all the time you have to be honest.
Well, I know that. I know. Well, yes, that's right. But that comes through age, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Realising.
You don't go around saying your bum looks really huge in that. Not that
Unless
kind.
it does.
Yeah, and you like, but you would
Or,
say it. and
to
then
be
it-
honest with you, it's not just that. It looks like in everything. Still does that.
Oh, it's a good job. Sally's lovely. Oh dear. Yeah.
So, although that's really interesting, because the honest thing. So I can't remember what day it was. It was sometime last week, and there was something on my mind with Sally, and it was something. It was sort of personal, but not too personal. And we were sitting watching the telly, and I thought, I've got to say something. I've got to say something, because I've learnt from my first marriage, you've got to say something.
Yeah. And
we'd say to each other, you've got to say something. And I thought, no, don't say anything, Nick. Wait till tomorrow, because then you'll feel different. And I thought, no, what you've learnt from your first marriage is you should say.
Yeah.
So I said something, because Sally's always said, we should say. And she said, right, well, okay, but I wish you'd not told me that now, because I've been on screens all day and I'm just not in the right place. Why didn't you tell me in the morning? And I said, well, I didn't know that I should wait till it, because, how would I know?
You wouldn't.
Right.
You wouldn't.
But the thing is, she then said, well, I'm glad you said something, even though I wish you hadn't, because it'd be better in the morning. But for the past 10 days, it's been really funny, because whenever we've had a little bit of a conversation, it's come on, I've said, if she said, what would you like for tea tonight? I've said, is this something I'm supposed to tell you tomorrow morning? So it's now become a very amusing thing, right? It's now become a thing, so you have to laugh.
You do, and David and I laugh. He's got a syndrome, so we're really honest with each other as well. So David's got a syndrome, which is
what?
YFB, and he came up with this diagnosis himself.
Yes, which stands for?
You fat bastard.
Right, you fat bastard.
So he talks about how he's got YFB syndrome because he likes his food so much.
Right.
And how he's got an overactive knife and fork.
That's very funny.
Which within the relationship gives us permission to take the piss out of each other.
I've got an overactive. You know me. I've got an overactive knife and fork. In fact, cutlery, full stop.
Yeah. About the fact that we enjoy our food and our wine, possibly.
But you don't put weight on.
I do. I just have a stop mechanism, whereas David he finds it really hard to stop. He can control it. He absolutely can control it, and he's quite good at losing weight. But he does it too before we go on holiday, so then he can put a stone on.
Yeah, well, everyone does that.
Oh, okay, all right then.
Everyone does that. Everyone does that.
I didn't know that. Okay, but yeah, honesty.
That's 31.5 minutes.
We're done. See you next time.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed Nick and Becca's Fireside Chats just as much as we enjoyed recording it. Remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever it is you need to do. And head over now to tricres.com, TRICRES.com. There's a ton of resources there for business coaches and consultants. Some are free, some you have to pay for. We really look forward to welcoming you to the Tricres family.
Welcome to the glow, where warmth begins. Nick and Becca, where good vibes win. Pull up a chair and let's get started to business tips with a cool, relaxed view. Fireside Chats with Nick and Becca, business tips where